Georgia lands a new commit in Miller Westerfield. The four-star is headed to Athens. We talk about the commitment, break down his film, and much more today coming up on the show. What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to the show. Appreciate you guys always tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video. All my Georgia Tech fans, make sure you guys turn away. But we're going to break down the commitment of Miller Westerfield. We're supposed to do a little bit earlier today, but it's been a hectic day. We had some transfers in high school and other videos I had to get out, man. So I wanted to do this as soon as this was announced. I was right on it, but stuff happened. But basically, when it comes to Miller Westerfield, outstanding player. I think has a very bright future ahead, man. He's big, he's massive, he's 6'6", 295. And the guy can move, y'all, in my humble opinion. He can move and he can move with some of the best, right? And what I love about this move for Georgia is they're continuing to hit on guys inside the state. Now, most people have said, nah, it's just recruiting class is not as good with Georgia, right? Number 13, this is not what we really expected. But I think they've picked up over the last few weeks, right? They're in a good position to land Caden Fife. We still got Seth Williams as another prospect they're trying to obviously land as well. And they also have Adrian Cole, who I believe is not committed just yet from Douglas County. So there's several prospects out there for Georgia that are still in play that they're trying to obviously land and bring to Athens. So what is Miller Westerfield? What does he bring to the table, right? Plays for a really good program in Roswell, right? And last year they've had a pretty good season, right? They went to the semifinals, played against Thomas County Central, ended up losing, right? But this is the type of player you're getting from my Georgia fans that follow me, right? Guy that has good footwork, massive, good, you know what I'm saying, good attention to detail, and has that nasty mean streak to him, in my humble opinion, right? Can bring those different things to the table. So, I got a chance to see him. I got the chance to see the footwork. I got a chance to see, you know what I'm saying, how he drives, the one-on-one blocking. I got a chance to see a little bit of one-on-ones, and he did his thing, man. So, this is a guy I think, bright future ahead. And when you look at how Georgia has built offensive linemen the last few years, you look at, guys like Kamarius Mims, Dylan Fairchild, Tate Ratledge, Kamarius Mims. They've built guys that are ready, that are built for these moments, man. So I think this is a really good pickup for Georgia, right? Like I said, 6'6", my bad, 6'6", 295 pounds, with a bright future ahead, man. Plays for Roswell, and it kind of mirrors the offense that Georgia plays in a little bit because they're able to, run the football, but they also pass the ball where he's able to pass protect, do those kind of things, man, and be able to be that guy. Now, I don't think he'll be a guy that starts year one with Georgia. That's just not something I see. But it took about a couple years, wait your turn, the 5-for-5 rule. I could say easily by his sophomore junior season, he should be able to play for Georgia in the new system and new scheme, in my humble opinion. So let's break down the film. What does the film say on Miller Westerfield? Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up. All right, let's share this tab so you guys can see. Okay, 1 second. All right, here we go. So here is Miller Westerfield. All right. So here he is right here on this end. They're playing against Johns Creek. That's not the best competition, of course, but you guys see him out here on the edge and looking to get to the second level and fill that hole in there. Right? Allow the running back be able to break free and get to the second level pretty quickly. Then here he is, right? Again, not the best competition because he's playing against Seconder. Okay, there we go. Pause and stop. But as you guys can see, right? Okay, make sure that works. Sorry, y'all. But as you guys can see right here, look at him do the nice quick back, good footwork, stay in the sight line, right? The edge rusher is trying to bend low, and he's able to kind of get his body around and just be able to completely take him away out of the play. Right? Okay, here's better competition. Westlake. Right? They usually have good players all over the field. Right here, good boom, good chopping of the feet, as you guys can see. And here's 40. Look at him try to go and bend down below, right? And he still stays in front of him the entire time, gets nowhere to the quarterback. He's got a little bit of everything here, right? So here he is, good initial gauge, good initial punch, bend down right here, but look at him stay in the sideline without obviously drawing a holding foul and being able to turn him around and being able to block him at a very high level. All right, here we go again. Same thing against Westlake later in the game. Okay, 1-2, right? You see that? Good feet. Boom. Okay, so 55 is taking basically this guy in on that stunt play, and then boom, look at him in just inside, and he finishes him off completely, and gets obviously the pancake block right there. Okay, then right here we're going to get a little bit of that pull action. So he came from here, and he's going to pull over, and you see the screen play right here, and then boom, look at him just finish the play. This is against Buford. Buford has athletes, all over the field, but I like his athleticism here, being to get to the next level, and then boom, look at him punish this defender who's trying to get back in the sight line and completely, annihilates him out of the play, right? So love that right there. Okay, then here he is on the inside of the interior, and then boom, like the rusher is nowhere near, the quarterback. Right, there is KJ Smith, Kevin Smith, boom, right, completely in the sideline, nowhere near the quarterback, scrambles, open lane. You guys can see what he's able to do there. Okay, here he is, opposite side. Boom, here's again against Buford. Let's see what we got. Okay, here he's peeling down, and this is the part I love. Look at him get to the next level. Right here, matched up against the linebacker and completely engages him. Okay, here we got a motion. Boom, here he is right here. See that? So that's why I said I think he has that potential. He has the size already, and he's naturally going to grow into his body, probably over 300 pounds. But you see right here, the defender's trying to use that bull rush. Bull rush pretty much annihilated right there. Has no chance, stops him in his tracks essentially, and is able to, kind of, not allow him to get there. Okay, then right here, I like this. Like, you see the initial punch. The initial punch is strong enough to push the defender back. Boom, there's the initial punch. Look how far back the defender went. And then he tries to get right back into the play, and then you see the strength and the power, and right there, a big-time pancake block, and he finishes him down to the ground. Right? So that's what you're getting in Miller Westerfield. And then, like I said, underrated part of his game is athleticism. Here he's going to be pulling. Here comes the linebacker here, and then boom, you see him get a hat on the hat right there, RPO action, and completely stunts him right there. Now, this part wasn't his fault on this next play because he has to come inside. Nobody counted for this guy right here. So it's going to be a sack. But he did a good job of obviously blocking the guy on that play. Same thing here. Good footwork, right? Defender's trying to use the chop of the hands, and you see it. He's there the whole time, right? This is not an easy thing to block. Boom, there's the chop hands right there. You think, oh, okay, the defender has leverage to the quarterback. No, he doesn't. Stays inside the whole time and then pushes him completely out of the play, right? So phenomenal job right there by Westerfield. Okay, boom. Y'all see him moving? Right here against Wall, a pretty good team at 7A, and then just staying in the sideline the whole time. Didn't result in a great play, but Westerfield does his job. Right here, engaged, gets pushed back a little bit, but good job readjusting and finishes off with a big-time pancake block that allows that big-time rush by the quarterback. So even when he's not performing his best, he's still able to recover, get back in the sideline, and still be able to make those plays. Okay, then right here, just the defender kind of falls down, you know what I'm saying, but does a good job just, leveraging him out of the play, but that play was already made for him because the defender slipped, fell down to the ground. Okay, then right here, boom, you guys see, gets the initial block on this guy, and then let him get to that second level, and then completely open it up for his running back in order to get a big gain right there. And then more pass pro. Here's the guy trying to come down, trying to do the bend, and has no chance. So he can block against the bends, the chopping of the hands, all that good stuff. And then here the athleticism. That's probably the biggest part of this game I love. Boom, push down, right? That's the initial. And then look at him get to the second level. And here's the alleyway for the running back to run through. Boom, right? And an easy money touchdown right there, right? This is for his ability to get athletic and go up the field. See right here? Good job chopping the feet, staying in phase, nowhere near the quarterback, right? So I see the D1 talent in this guy. I see the powerfulness in this guy, right? It does the same thing, right there. Helps his teammate finish off a player. He didn't have anybody to block. I'm gonna help him out, finish off the task on the job. Now, the only thing I didn't like here is like how he bended. It's probably my only knock on his game so far. I didn't like that because even though you're supposed to open up that hole, I would rather you go attack that guy and go get him out the way. Because he's still kind of able to get in there. Still leads to a big game, but that one I wasn't the biggest fan of. This one I like, right? Right there, go in emergence and look at him go get the linebacker. Right? Great job right there. Finishes him off. Big time pancake block. Like, that's the part of the game I like. He already has that phase of getting to the second level, opening up the gap for the running back, and making a big time game. Now, I would say the only thing I want to see more of, obviously, this upcoming year, just a couple more pancake blocks. You know what I'm saying? But I love his ability to get to the second level and be athletic. But very good game, in my humble opinion. I think, like I said, just continuing to be a little bit more nasty, a little bit more powerful. You know what I'm saying? But athleticism, check. pass pro, check. And an ability to, you know what I'm saying, use athleticism to the advantage, check. Right. And the only thing is being a little nastier, having bigger time blocks, and I think that will help him moving forward. But outside of that, I think Georgia's getting a really good player. I think Georgia's going to be able to develop him into a staple, you know, whether that's right tackle, left tackle, but a staple tackle on the offensive line who's 6'6", could even go to 6'7" potentially. But the guy has a lot of potential. And I think for Georgia, you bring into focus their class, which has kind of gotten a little bit crapped on a little bit, but it's number 13, right? Georgia is number 13 right now in the nation for the recruiting class. And they have some dogs, right? And they got Kemon Spell, they got Jackson Dollar, Kennedy Jackson, who they flipped from Florida to stay home. Jameer Dean, who's a really good receiver from Tennessee. Kelsey Adams, who's still committed to Georgia. There was rumors he might go to LSU. Still with Georgia, right? Colton Nussmeier, Jakeem Gouda, who's like rated as the number 2 linebacker, right? So they have all the stuff they need in order to be successful. And they still have some guys that we talked about before that they're still after, right? The Caden Fikes of the world, right? Seth Williams of the world, right? There's still some targets out there that they could still potentially land. So I would say, don't be surprised if you see them in with a top 10 class. They have everything they need in order to do so, and they're getting the players necessary in order to do so as well, man. So my overall grade, I give them a B to B plus on this pickup. I think, you know, with development, with the right coaching, I think he could be a staple offensive tackle for you for years to come for the Georgia Bulldogs, in my humble opinion. But that's what I would give the grade, a solid B to B plus. And I think Georgia can develop him into the player they want him to be in the next coming years, man. But appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video, and let me know if you want to see more Georgia content. And appreciate you guys always tuning in, man. And make sure you hype up the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.